For an early access version, it works just fine. It didn't crash a single time during my first couple of streams, and I was able to play on a server that was almost full the whole time. It's pretty good too. I run the game and stream at the same time on the same machine using a 1080, and I was in between 60 to 100 FPS most of the time with the graphic settings on high for pretty much everything. There were rare dot frames going down to 30, 40 FPS for a very short time, but that's about it. The game ran just fine thanks to the high-tech analog hardware we use at the Road Foundation. The gameplay is good. It's the kind of survival games I've been waiting for a long time. The graphics are good as well in my opinion. Some of the animations still need work, but overall I'm pretty happy. The core loop needs more obviously, but the foundations are there for Deadside to hopefully become a great survival game. Are there bugs? It's an early access version. I mean, do you know any bug-free games anyway? Let's put it that way, there is no bug that are going to prevent you from playing the game. The gameplay is pretty realistic, it's quite unforgiving. Weapons deal a lot of damage and you've got to be careful when starting actions like reloading or switching weapons and so on, because once the animation started you cannot stop them, unless you're using a bolt action rifle, in which case you can stop the reload animation, but overall, yeah, you can get one-tapped a lot in this game. It's pretty basic and that's what we were expecting. There is hunger and thirst that you can easily manage. Hitting is probably the most hardcore survival aspect of the game right now. It's hard to find meds, they are really expensive and they don't give you a lot of health back, so you're quite often put in a tough situation, forcing you to make a lot of tactical decisions. It's pretty good whether you're playing solo or with the group. In solo you'll have to be more patient. Always try to take the enemy bots from behind, wait for them to finish the patrol, but you can achieve a lot without a group. With a squad it gets quite tactical when you're doing missions or raiding military bases. You'll be dealing with sniper towers, bots that push you a lot more, and other players as well who are trying to prevent you from getting the loots. So shoot, move and communicate at all time and be patient. Honestly, be patient. The AI is good or alright for now, and it's quite challenging. So there are two types of AI right now, the locals and the army bots. So they both do patrols, but their squad might be of different sizes and have different gear. They're quite aggressive as well, and they would push you a lot and they would one-tap you a lot as well. The thing I love the most about the AI in the game is how they make the world alive. You will see them patrolling on the road, then stopping for a little bit at one of the checkpoints, then they would keep on going. You can follow them, you can sneak behind them and discuss with your squad on how to take them down when the right time comes. It's a lot of fun. Of course it needs more work and I'm sure we will get there, but for this first early access version I think it's good enough. It's more action focused, definitely. The whole point of the game is to take part in those missions and visit the POIs. You will either find bots or other players who will most likely try to do the same thing and attack you. So definitely action-packed. The beginning is quite grindy, I would say, but it's still an enjoyable experience. You will repeat a few town runs until you have enough money to get something. But you can also find good gear really quickly if you're lucky, if you know where to find the gear. And if you ambushed a Gorka patrol and managed to kill them and survive, you can get a lot of good gear. But it's a mix of grinding for gear, money, and discovering the world at the same time. So it's grindy, but not the annoying kind of grindy. There is crafting in the game. It's pretty basic, but enough for now. You have recipes for meds, a bag, and base buildings. Hopefully this will be expanded in the future, hopefully with a system that lets you learn new blueprints that you can find, maybe even super rare blueprints you can get from epic missions or, you know, epic bosses, I don't know, but that would be great. The map is good. It does need a little bit of work, more details, more POIs, missions, details, optimizations, and so on. But overall, for now, 25 square kilometers is still the right choice before we can move on to a bigger map. I do feel that it is a little bit too small for a 50 slot servers. I think in between 20 to 30 slots for a server is probably better. At the Road Foundation, we would go for a 25 slot servers for now, and then when the map expands in the future, we will increase the amount of players we can get on the server. But for now, I think it's good enough, honestly. It's good. I mean, mostly because it can happen a lot. There is no desync, not a lot, and it's pretty tactical. I'd say you get 60% of fights against AI and 40% against real players when you have between 25 to 50 users on the servers, but it's enjoyable. I didn't see a lot of lag, I didn't see a lot of desync. The netcode seemed good, so for now I'm pretty happy, but I want to see how things go once we get more players, once the map gets bigger, and so on. So, but for now, PvP is good. I don't really think you can quantify the difficulty of the game, to be honest. It is a challenging game, mostly because AI or players can deal a lot of damage. They can one-tap you all the time. You know, it's pretty hard to regen health as well. It's really slow pacing. I love this, but maybe some people won't like it. It is not that easy to get into it because there is no FTUE, there is no tutorial. So you need to learn by watching other streamers or asking on Discord, watching tutorials, or just spend time to experiment. But I think it's well balanced. For now, it's well balanced. No. No. Come on. Nothing is like Escape from Tarkov. Honestly, the closest and most accurate comparison is the Exile mode for Arma 3. It is very much the inspiration for this game. I think it's pretty good because you get a lot of pre-made shapes and blocks, sandbags and towers that you can craft, build and place really easily using the powerful snap tool, and you can still give your base a unique shape. So I think the experience of building a base is pretty good for an early access version, honestly. But the game doesn't really introduce you to base building, so you will probably not know what you need, the tools you need, how to start and so on, so that might take a little bit of time. So we will need something in the game in the future, FTUE or tutorial or a KB database for people to learn how to start building a base. Maybe a few quality of life improvements, like a pinging system or a compass to make communication a bit easier. I think that would be something I would love to have in like the next update. More PvE content, more missions with a quest system and challenges that give me good loot, you know, and then I need to try to complete them against other players and AI. Everything basically that makes Deadside unique. And that's where I hope the developers will keep putting efforts in the long term. Well, I do hope they will add an M14 because I'm a big fan of that weapon. But I think the game right now needs another small SMG that you can find in the world, anywhere in the world. Right now we've got a couple of pistols, we've got 2 to 3 shotguns. We only have one SMG, the scope. I do think a second one would be great, honestly. Night visions. I think the idea of having lights and sound is good, but the nights in Deadside, they're really dark. Really dark. So I think night visions, even like different kinds of night visions, you know, with different quality and sound, would be great in Deadside. I think we desperately need scopes right now, but in the long term, I can't wait for silencers. Right now, not really. I think we can deal without cars on the 25 square kilometers map, but we need them for sure once the map gets extended. Yeah. Why don't you play another game? Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of Arma 3 Exile. I played it a lot of hours. So this is pretty much going to be an upgraded version with dedicated devs. I do hope we will get a roadmap fairly soon, because I do have minor concerns about the direction the development is going to take, and I hope it will stay close to the one they are giving when describing the game on the store pages. I want more PvP VE, and I think the world missions PvE systems right now is underused and underestimated. So I hope we will see a lot more improvements added to those features in the future. Well, let's wait and see, but I think a roadmap would be great. I had my beta tester account. I got 2 extra keys from the devs to give away, and I gave them away already, but I'm still going to buy it because I think I really love the concept. I want to support the devs, and for the amount of content we get in this early access version, I think $20 is really not much. I think it's worth it, honestly. So yeah, I think $20 for this game, for this early access version, totally worth it. So I guess that's it for this review of this early access version of Deadside. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and let me know in the comments below if you think you will get this early access version, or if you think you're gonna wait for a few months, or if you realize that Deadside is not the survival game you want to play. Also consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to tick the bell so that you get notifications when new videos are coming in the future. And thank you very much again for all the support. You stay safe and keep establishing those 4 values of the World Foundation. I'll see you next time.